Boom, boom. What's going on, Zinger Nation? Welcome back. I'm your host, Ryan Rozbiani. Welcome back to, we're calling this show Stocks on Sundays. It's, I guess, after hours was what I used to do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now we're doing Stocks on Sundays. So we'll see how this works out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some charts. So the format for this show is I'm going to go over what I think is going to be going on next week. And then jumping from that into some charts, either from the comment section, or I'm going to be putting out a tweet like this on Saturdays or Fridays, whenever, saying, hey, I'm going to be doing some live charts. So if you're following me on Twitter, link in the description, you could drop your stock here. I tend to ask for one, but you got some folks who like to give you like 15 stock charts. I don't know how long they expect me to go, but we'll try to do as many as we can, obviously, right? So I'm going to start off with a few simple ones, some basics that I like to go over first. I'd like to go over SPY, I'd like to go over Bitcoin, and IWM. So technically, we cover at least 3 indices, right? You cover SPY for the S&P 500, the overall stock market. You cover IWM for the small cap markets, and Bitcoin for all of our favorite Bitcoin mining stocks. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll start off with Bitcoin. It's very interesting. Bitcoin is, let's go to the daily chart, ramping up. Bitcoin has been quiet for a while. It had the 2 dips because of the China ban, the 100th time we've banned China. And Bitcoin is banned in China for the 100th time. By the way, I hope my audio is coming through clearly. If someone could just comment saying I can hear you clearly, I would appreciate that. Just jumped into this one. I don't know if the audio is coming through clearly. If it is, if you can comment, that'd mean a lot. Thank you. So look, we're curling back up. We're doing very good for Sunday. Not the strongest candles that are being formed here. Clearly, Friday was the best day. Thank you, Polly. Appreciate you. Friday was clearly the best day. We regained the 50 MA, and we've been holding it for 2 days, which is very, very good. So I'm looking forward to that holding. Do I expect still for us to have blips? No stone unturned. Thank you very much. Have blips along the way? Of course. That's kind of the story of the game, is you're going to have blips along the way. Look, blip right there, then recover, blip, recover, massive blips, and then you got a bit of recovery. So technically, you've kind of recovered from this big 10% drop with a nice 9% day. So Bitcoin's doing well, and parallel to that, let's take a look at Hut 8 Mining and Marathon stock, because I know those are 2 fan favorites for Bitcoin miners. And of course, I know you folks love any as well, which moves with Bitcoin somewhat, but we'll see. Take a look at that bullish hammer candle on the close on Friday. Regained the 90 MA support, regained the 20 MA support on close. Fantastic. There's a lot of gaps on the chart, which if you look here, this gap down was filled. Next, we got this gap here from a high point of $9.30 to a low point of $9.80. Can this be filled? I believe so. It's not a massive gap. It's nothing horrendously big, but I think that it can be filled, no problemo. By the way, just to reiterate, I'll be answering stock questions from the chat, as well as questions that were dropped here in the Twitter kind of fiesta, I want to call it. Twitter tweet fiesta was the wrong word for that, but you can comment below. So if you're not following me on Twitter, all my stock stuff will come in handy. If you any of the links, anything that I talk about is at ryanstocks.com. The website looks just like this if you want to see it. Everything is here. If you guys want access to anything I discuss, if I say my Twitter, it's here. If I say I'm posting it on my Instagram, it's here. The platform we're using is Webull. If you want to sign up and get it for free, you get 2 free stocks when you sign up and deposit anything. So you deposit $1, you get 2 free stocks. So I'm just saying, all the stuff and affiliate links and all this stuff are here at ryanstocks.com. And throughout this whole process, I just want to remind you that I do have my own YouTube channel, which I will be possibly doing supplementary streams on throughout the week, or even after this stream, because I'm only on here for an hour, going on to my YouTube channel. So if you go here and subscribe, that would be good. You'll get a lot of content. I've got a lot of stuff coming out throughout this whole process for you, so you can go subscribe here. And the Patreon's open, so if you want to learn how to trade stocks, how to do technical analysis, how to get access to the course videos that I have, weekly watch list for stocks, options are daily now. We do daily watch lists now. It's this really daily watch list the night before that come out with updates that have been doing very well. I can show you some sample wins that we've had. So give me 1 second before we jump into it. I got to do these plugs beforehand. So for example, Surf's up, as you can see here, he posted his result. Did 68% on a Hut put that we had, 52% on a Hut put, and then another total 10% returns on those. Thank you, Dan, for throwing in a like. Appreciate you. And you got some other examples. For example, on AMD, this gentleman made here, I didn't want to give him away, but he did 80% on a call we did. Our other member had a fantastic month of September. Lucid Calls printed 10Ds. Lucid Calls again printed 10Ds. These went to 1,000% return, by the way. So if you'd like to sign up, there's only 6 slots available for this month. And then I'm just going to close it off and just focus on the team. So if you go to the Patreon here, I'll show you what it looks like. You can sign up and you can join, and the slots are there available to you. So Hut, in a nutshell, looks fantastic. Battlefield 5 is a great question. It says Hut versus Riot. I mistakenly bought Riot calls over $200 for Jan, and it's been crushed. I don't like Riot Battlefield because Riot has been doing some terrible deals and negotiations through their expansions. It feels like they were desperately trying to catch up to Marathon, and they just got decimated. And you can see in their market cap too reflects a 2.5 billion in the market cap for Riot, for example, versus they had a much higher market cap than Mara at a certain point, but now Mara is at a 3.3 billion market cap. So looking at Riot compared to Hut, Riot's in a bad shape because Riot did some terrible deals and then they gave away so much of their stock. And then right away, whenever they gave away their stock, give me 1 second to just clean this lens. There we go. The second they gave away their stock and the lockup kind of ended on that stock, I got a little like strand of string coming down here that's throwing me off. You guys can't see it, but they turned around and sold all of their stock. So I think it was Northern Data AG or something like that. Turned around and sold all their Riot stock, which decimated the position because they Riot diluted in order to make this stock, and then they sold it. I believe they diluted again. Don't quote me on the dilution part, but again, that's what happened. So Riot got essentially decimated. And it's kind of been in a terrible position. Let me just delete these lines so you can see it a little clearly. Let me turn off the 100 MA. We don't need that here. I hate when there's too many lines or too much BS on a chart. I keep it very simple. My setup is Bollinger Bands, 9 EMA, and 50 MA. That's it. And that's kind of how I operate with the RSI MACD and then the volume. That's kind of the setup that I like to use. And as you can see, Riot's having a hard time. But look, Riot's fighting back too. It needs to get above that 9 EMA. 9 EMA is a resistance point for stocks that they need to break over. And I think Riot needs to break that 9 EMA, then go for the 20 MA, and then kind of make its way back up. I don't see why Riot wouldn't be trading in the 30s, just frankly saying that, just based off of what they're doing now, where they're going. But I do agree that a few of their deals that they did were just decimated Riot. Battlefield says 232 per call. I got jacked. I don't know what that means. I guess FOMO. I got jacked FOMO. But I guess that's my mistake for not receiving. It's okay, man, or woman, whatever you are. Whatever. We all make mistakes. As long as you learn from your mistake, that's all that matters. Don't beat yourself up over it. People have made mistakes before. Surfs Up. I totally agree with you. Hat is a juicy one. I totally agree with you. I love Hut. So Hut's going to do great going into the week with Bitcoin doing well. Riot's even going to do great. Let's take a look at Marathon Digital Holdings, my favorite Bitcoin miner. Hut is quickly becoming my second favorite Bitcoin miner. And I'm not trying to pump it or do anything like that. I hope no one thinks that I'm just I keep it straight with you guys on these streams. If you know me from the Tuesday, Thursday streams I used to do on this channel, now I'm here on Sundays with you guys with stocks on Sunday. So I tell you how it is. I tell you my honest opinion. If I like something, I'll tell you. If I don't like it, I'll tell you too. So we can see here that Mara, very parallel candle here to Hut, broke the 90 MA. 50 MA is serving to be resistance for this stock. If it breaks above the 50 MA, then I think it has a bit of a path to the mid 30s and then hopefully upwards. But again, there's some stuff that you got to kind of take into account. When Bitcoin has a massive move like this, Mara and Hut and all of them, they're not going to follow it one-to-one because there's volatility with moves like this. The same way there's volatility down and stocks take a nosedive, when you're going upwards with like this, the stock isn't going to one-to-one move and give you an 18%, 20% move in one day. No, it used to do that, but the traders on this and the investors on this have noticed that, hey, we shouldn't chase this. We should let it cool off because Bitcoin might not hold this 9% upward move for more than 3-4 days. So we'll see how it does. Alexander, fantastic question. What do I think about SPY Nasdaq today? Well, today the markets are closed, but going into tomorrow, let's talk about it. That's the next one I wanted to jump into is the S&P 500. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. Now I remember why I had the 100 MA on was just for this S&P 500 analysis. So this light green line is the 100 moving average, which was broken. So now that you see it's broken, it's now forming to become resistance, unfortunately. It was support for the longest time. The 50 MA was support for the longest time, and they all just shattered. Why? One simple word: fear. I've got a video coming out on this, on how to deal with fear, how to deal when markets are crashing, how they're going down. So on my YouTube channel, I'll have that linked for you guys. So on my YouTube channel, if you go to ryanstocks.com, that video will be up either tonight or tomorrow morning. So I want you guys to make sure to subscribe to that, to watch that. It's the things that I've now 4 years. I've been trading for 4 years now. My 4 years of experience. These are the three big things that I do when markets turn red. I follow these three things, and it's been very profitable for me. Even just a few days ago, when the markets, not a few days ago, it's been longer than a few days, but during this whole process, like, I'm not stressed out, I'm not mad, I'm not worried, I'm actually hopeful, and I find these as opportunities. So looking at SPY did good on Friday. The whole debt ceiling situation was pushed back to December. Still a variable that's up in the air. I know that a lot of people were like, and myself included, I thought like we're going to have a red day on Friday, but we didn't, because of the infrastructure bill. Then I sat down and I thought about it. I said, hey, look, the infrastructure bill isn't a make or break thing. If it comes now, or it comes 8 months from now, or 16 months from now, it doesn't matter realistically. We're not depending on it for much. It's a supplemental thing. It's an injection into the economy style thing, whatever you believe it's going to do or how it's going to operate. So I don't think that the infrastructure bill is a thing that we're waiting on. The debt ceiling was a big thing. The government shutdown was a big thing, and they're going to figure that out. They do that. This is a song and dance that happens every so often with the government shutdown. So I'm not too worried about it. SPY should start to recover. 9 EMA is resistance, so we need to break above that and turn the 9 EMA into support. Once that is done, it's a clear path, in my opinion, back to the 50 MA in the 440s, and then upwards and beyond once this is solved. The market hates unknowns. The market hates unpredictability. The market hates that and reacts negatively to it, justifiably so. So that's SPY. And let's take a look at QQQ. Let's see. Sasha has a comment. Let's see. This is a good one. Sasha says, this is not a critique. However, the market is not crashing. This is normal. We're just used to the bull market. A correction is a 10% pullback. We're not in a correction yet. I agree 1,000% with you, Sasha. I could not agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. Let me go back to SPY real quick and address exactly what you're saying. This is healthy. What's not healthy is a 52-week high every few days. In my opinion, that's not healthy at all. It's exciting, it's cool, it's fun to see, but it's not healthy. I agree with you 1,000% there. The market needs pullbacks. This is technically not a pullback. We could draw it out from our all-time high. I think it's about a 6% or 6.2% drop from the all-time high, which is realistically, yeah, take a look at that. Not even 6.2%. It's 6 point. I'm sorry. Let me turn off Bollinger Bands for 1 second, and I'll turn them back on, just so I can kind of get this line. There we go. So it's about let me just reassess this one more time. Yeah, it's about okay, I keep forgetting. Okay, now I'm totally screwing this up, and Weeble's embarrassing me on live YouTube. It's not even 6%, 5.91% drop from the all-time high. That's nothing. Think about your favorite stock. Let's go to a random stock. Let's go to, like, for example, ChargePoint, right? CHPT. See, ChargePoint has had massive drops from its all-time high. People don't freak out and be like, oh my God, the sky is falling. ChargePoint's running out of business. Look at this. ChargePoint is about 50% down from its all-time high. This is healthy, in my opinion. For ChargePoint, maybe not, but for SPY, a 6% drop is not a big deal whatsoever. I agree, we're not even in a market correction yet, not even in a real pullback. This is just a little of a dippy dip because there's fear in the markets and people were scared, and justifiably so. Government shutdowns can cause a lot of negativity and pushback, and getting it back open is annoying. So I think that what's going on here isn't bad. It's just, hey, everyone's used to the all-time high every 3 days, and it got to the point where it wasn't even getting pressed that we were hitting 52-week highs on SPY. So that's not a big deal, in my opinion. I think the drops are healthy, and I agree with you, Sasha, 100%. I'm hoping we go sideways for a bit. I think we're going to go sideways for a bit. I do agree with you, LA2MEX. I think we will be sideways for a bit on SPY and the overall markets on certain stocks, because we pushed back a negative thing, which was the government shutdown. Now, if they deal with it and come out of it, we'll keep going and we'll go back to this bullish market. But I think it's going to trade sideways, up and down within a box for a bit, kind of between the 9 EMA, the 50 EMA, kind of go up and down and kind of circulate. And I think we won't get over the 50 EMA until these unknown variables are solved. Just my 2 cents on it. So let's take, as Alexander said, let's take a look at QQQ as well. QQQ is holding the 100 MA as support. but has 2 gap downs in the chart. I think this gap was, this gap was filled. This gap wasn't. I think it'll start to make its way back up again when SPY does. They kind of move together, whether we like it or not. Yeah, so let's see what Roy says. Roy says confidence will remain uncertain until the Congress settles their latest mess. I totally agree with you. This is a song and dance. Uncertainty is the kind of the poison of the market. So once there's uncertainty, people are scared. But overall, I think long term, I'm not worried because I'm not too worried. And again, I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to answer your stock questions and I want to start charting. But again, if you go to my ryanstocks.com link in the description, I will be doing a video discussing fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, how I deal with it, my personal way to do it, and how I've dealt with it in a way that I've been able to finally like now put it into words in the form of video of the 3 things that I do when markets go red and how I make money when that's happening. And no, it's not just puts, buy puts or whatever. No, it's not that. It's kind of strategies that I do to build wealth during these times. So that's there if you'd like to check it out. Also, if you'd like to learn to do technical analysis like this, the Patreon is open. A new watch list is going out tonight. They're profitable. They do very, very well. We're a fantastic, supportive, small team. If you'd like to join, the link is there. Feel free. It's super affordable compared to most other things out there because my goal with that isn't to make money for myself. My goal for that is to provide a service, and kind of a lot of the money that is made through there goes to buying software for that and kind of keeping there. We just put a paywall there to keep spam out, to keep BS out, and bring in traders who are willing to kind of go in and do it. Battlefield 5 says buy Bitcoin and just watch. I do own some Bitcoin though. I do like Bitcoin. Okay, so what I want to do is I did QQQ, I did SPY, I want to do IWM so we can see how the penny stock world is going to be operating going into next week, and then we will see where it goes. Penny stocks are doing great. Penny stocks are doing great as we've seen. Look, you got 100 MA resistance here. I don't really use the 100 MA, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm not going to pretend I use the 100 MA when I really don't. So I'm going to bring in my normal analysis and see, hey, look, even better. 20 MA is resistance there, the midline of the Bollinger Band. So IWM will have its fun and will do its thing and will make its moves. And I think that pennies will be okay. I think, again, just like everything else, you need to pick and choose which ones are good for you. It's not going to be a penny stock rally or penny stock summer or whatever you guys call it, small cap summer. Individual penny stocks did fantastic and will continue to do fantastic. Like one that we played in the Patreon that did very well. I think it was SHIP was doing very well, and then is now cooling off. It ran from here to here, did fantastic. Parallel to that, we played Tops. Tops is still doing fantastic. It's 6% on Friday, and then 1.27%. There's a lot of fantastic penny stocks out there that you can make money on just trading from one upward and do very well with them. Just a case by case basis. You need to figure out what where the market sentiment is and take it from there. All right. Okay, so let's jump into some stocks that you guys would like to do. I'm going to jump around, so if I miss your stock, I apologize. And again, if you're watching, all we ask in return is you just hit that like button, and if you'd like to support, just hit the like button. Pretty straightforward. It's free. Don't act like you got a ration number of likes you got to give away. Let's all work together and do something cool together. All right, so I'm going to start off with ZOM because oil is interesting, and DC is a buddy of mine. Not ZOM, XOM. ZOM is a fun one over a penny stock from like last summer. So you see the whole oil sector, it's kind of been going booming for the past, I want to say since, what is this, the 22nd, just been running up. I think this continues to go until the whole oil situation. You got Bank of America that put out a prediction of $100 a barrel of oil. So I think this will continue to keep going, but it did hit resistance at 61, which I think was a previous resistance in the past, if I remember this chart correctly. I haven't looked at it in a bit, but around 60, yeah, if you don't count the wicks, which some traders don't. It says this is a very, very, very bullish candle. It's a solid bullish candle right here. You can kind of drop that right there. It's eyeballed, but you see here around the same point of resistance. If it could break this resistance, I don't see why it wouldn't go to 63. So how would I play this one? I'd look to play options on this one, and I'd go for either October 15 calls. So I'd go for like the 60. Let's see the open interest. You got very good open interest on 62.50. I'd go for the 62s probably. Float's very high on this one, so you could even go for the 61s just so you can go in the money much quicker. But I think by market open tomorrow, this will be in the money for the 61, so you want to go for the 62s. So that's how I would play ZOM, is I would do that. unless you have capital to swing heavy, like buy 1,000 shares of ZOM or 100 shares of ZOM. Even then, I think it's foolish. If you think that ZOM's going up, you're better off just playing straight up calls on it if you believe that way. Do you use TLT as an indicator for the yield, an indicator for growth stocks possibly falling? Sometimes I do, Alexander. Sometimes I do the kind of the whole, for those who don't know TLT, I'll pull it up. TLT, it's the 20-year Treasury bond return rate. And once it starts to go up, people get very scared. And it had a bit of a pop on Friday. But people like it when it's going down because they say like when TLT goes up, I kind of you see growth stocks suffer a bit. But realistically, I'll be honest with you, we're not at a point where things are going wonky or the world's falling apart where I'd be too worried. This is just a little blip on the radar. It's not really a big deal, my personal opinion. But again, I could be possibly wrong. We could go in for the biggest market crash of history. The guy from Rich Dad Poor Dad said we're going to have an 80% drop. And I mean, like, come on, bro. 80% drop. That's massive. You need a catalyst for something like that. People just like to throw numbers out there just to catch headlines and catch press and sell more books. Right, so we did ZOM. Let me grab another one from here. Then I'm going to jump into the chat with you guys, and we'll do some of those. So let's see some interesting ones. Let's do Nike. NKE, Nike. Nike had earnings. They reduced guidance, I believe it was, or something like that. And they went into oversold territory. If you look at the RSI, under 30 is oversold. And stay there for a few days. And it's trying to fight its way back up. Look, you have 9 EMA resistance. Personally, I wouldn't touch this stock until it breaks the 9 EMA. Break the 9 EMA, build support there, then I'd enter it and trade it. Because what happens is you ride the Bollinger Band down with this stock. And even before the earnings, this thing's been riding the Bollinger Band down, trying to fight the 9 EMA resistance since the 12th of August. I would avoid this stock personally, unless you want to go long on shares and you think like in the next 2 to 3 years, Nike's going to be like a $170, $180 stock. Then you play it that way. But options for this one is a no-go in my opinion. It's going to take too long. Hey, World Travel Magazine, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming and watching. Thoughts on A entry? Which entry? I don't know what A is. Is A a stock? It's a cool question. Allegiant, is that what you're discussing? Let me know. Max says, just wait for the break of the descending channel. Yeah, it's been Nike's been just tanking forever, right? And you never. This is the mistake a lot of traders make: is you kind of ride this Bollinger Band down. By the way, you're in the middle of a big gap here that I could possibly confidently see getting filled if the market conditions don't reverse. It'll pop up, it'll come down, pop up, come down, pop up, come down. Then maybe around this area, around the 135s, I believe. What is this? The high of 134.82, around 135. Then maybe it starts to recover. So you don't want to ever play options on this unless you're playing puts. If you're playing puts, long-term puts, like if you're playing, I don't know, November 19 puts, then I would be like, all right, maybe it's a good idea to play some puts on this. But even then, you're going to get, with these small pops, that'd be when you want to kind of buy the puts if you see this coming down. But again, even then, you want to wait for support to be met or resistance to be rejected to want to really play options on calls or puts. And this is not a chart that I'm like, the thing is, there's so many other alternatives and options out there versus Nike that you can play. Don't go into an uncertain chart just because you're like, oh, maybe there's an opportunity here. I'd rather go with a more of a sure thing style thing and more of it, and kind of play from there. All right, let's do Skillz real quick. Skillz. This is one that everyone's talking about now, so I'm going to touch on it really quickly. Then I'm going to jump into the chat with you guys. Skillz is getting decimated. ARK is even selling off their shares that they bought somewhere around here and here and here and here, and ARK buys at the top a lot, which is unfortunate. Skillz is ugly. It's an ugly chart. It looks like it wants to keep going down. I wouldn't be surprised if this breaks the 9s very soon. But hey, I don't like Skillz. I'll just put it there. I mean, I used to like Skillz a lot. I got out in the 20s, I think. I said, hey, this isn't for me anymore. I don't like what's going on. I didn't feel the sentiment, and thankfully I did. And then just flushed. The whole thing flushed. Just wait for the see a target emoji. Good evening, Snook. What's going on? Welcome back. All right, so I'm going to scroll up, and I'm going to catch some of the stocks you guys dropped in here. All right, so C6 says SBucks. Starbucks. It's funny. I actually started a small position on Starbucks on, I want to say, late Thursday evening. I started an initial long position on Starbucks because I wanted some shares. Just not even a long position. I think it'd be more of a quick swing trade on a large cap stock, which for me is like 3 months. So I started a position there, and then thankfully on Friday the thing picked up and did very well. Did 2 points, 2.37%. So I like Starbucks, but again, why I didn't buy options on Starbucks just yet is I wanted it to break the 90 EMA and build that as support. Then I would go long into options for November 19th for Starbucks on calls. So you might be saying, you idiot, you could have bought them on Thursday when you bought your shares and you'd be up 40%, you'd be up 50%. Well, let me tell you something. This is, again, I'm not saying that anyone's saying this or anyone has said that. But let's say Friday we didn't get the whole government shutdown situation thing wasn't pushed back to December, and we had a terrible day again on Friday. It would have been like my calls would have been bleeding again on Friday. So I'd like to wait for more support. But Starbucks, I like it. Look, there's no reason why this Starbucks wouldn't be back to a $120 stock, and nothing is wrong there in my opinion. I think it's just the market sentiment. If we put this side by side with SPY, you'll see why and how this thing is essentially kind of moving very parallel to SPY. Take a look at this. What do you see here? What do you see here? Very, very similar charts going down, curling back up, and going back down, then curling back up. So it's not like it's the end of the world style situation for Starbucks. It's going to be fine. Parallel to Starbucks, a stock that I'm liking a lot, which I wanted it at IPO prices, but the thing just ran too hard, was Bros, Dutch Bros. I love Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros is a fantastic company. It's just momentum is kicked in. I did buy some shares again on Thursday as well with Dutch Bros in the low 40s. Friday did very well for me as well. Again, I alert all of these in the Patreon if you guys want to sign up again one more time. RyanStocks.com, second tile here. There's only 6 slots left for this month. Once those are gone, I will not be adding slots. I'm not doing that anymore where people DM me and I add slots. I'm not doing that anymore. I apologize. I just can't. 6 slots comes with a ton of bonus material, and you get 2 full courses. I'm working on an options course that you get access to there as well. So you can sign up and get access to all that stuff. Options, watch list, stock watch list, and we alert whatever we play. But it's more important for you to learn how to read the stock charts, and that's what we foster. There's an educational mentality, so you learn how to trade. But Dutch Bros is an interesting one. I do hope Dutch Bros breaks the 40s at a certain point so I can load a full position. I loaded a very, very small position, about a 10% of what I wanted in a Dutch Bros position for long term. But I'm looking for Dutch Bros as well to kind of break so I can add more. But I added a tiny starter position. I nibbled. We gave it a little nibble there on Dutch Bros. Okay, let's start. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the market as a whole coming to this week? Do you think we will bounce back? What kind of bounce back? Okay, so World Travel Magazine, if you rewind like 10 minutes, we did a whole thing on SPY. Long story short, I think we will start to do well going into next week. But again, we still have the uncertainty of the government shutdown in December. Once that's been ironed out, I think markets start to turn back up. But again, I think we'll trade sideways a little bit, but positive sideways. So we'll have ups and downs. I think we'll be oscillating between the 9 EMA and the 50 EMA. And listen to World Travel Magazine and hit that like button. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Fun stock. Do you think Wish will gap fill soon of ever? Okay. Wish is a stock that I begged retail traders on my Twitter account. I got destroyed. I got decimated. I was insulted. I was threatened. I was DM'd. When everyone was playing Wish up here in the 11s and 12s, I said, guys, take profits. People were saying this is going to go to $100 a share, $200 a share. I was like, no, stocks don't work like that. Companies don't work like that. And then earnings time was coming around. I saw Amazon missed. I saw Coupang missed. So I bought puts on Wish earnings, and they gapped down, and they printed 300% for me and my team, which was alerted in the Patreon. I don't know. Gaps don't just fill for no reason, right? Especially on a stock that's been on a massive decline like this, right? You might get small little micro pops on Wish, but I don't see any miracles coming in for Wish to fill up and go to $10 without a catalyst, right? You need a reason, you need a catalyst for stocks to go up. You need news, or you need a market condition or something like that to pull this and kind of make it go up. Do I see that gap filling? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really think so personally, at least in the foreseeable next 2 to 3 weeks. Unless things really pick up or pumpers come in and want to pump it for you again. But naturally, I don't think so. Just take a look at, like, when this was happening here with these massive pops, I was just looking at this and I was like, man, this thing had a steep drop since directly. I don't know if it was a direct IPO, what they did, but when they went live on the markets, went up. Massive. It's been kind of a massive roller coaster downward with Wish. And look, just try not to play yourself when you're trading Wish, right? If you're trading Wish and you're looking at Wish and you're looking at what Wish is, you're like, come on, bro. Like, it's already a $3.14 billion company at $5 a share. Like, it's wish.com. It's not Amazon, right? So, okay, cool. Another one's coming in, CEI. A lot of folks are talking about CEI. This is an interesting chart as well. This is a momentum play. Look, momentum plays require one simple thing, one simple variable. Fundamentals go out the window when you're playing momentum plays. It's all about one thing, and that's your buddy volume. And I'm going to show you right here. Take a look at this. This is volume down here, right? You can see it. I hope you can see it clearly. If not, I apologize. But I'm seeing it clearly, so you should be able to see it clearly as well. CEI, massive run to 485. Fantastic. Very fantastic run. Congratulations to anyone who's in there. If you haven't taken profits, it's foolish at this point of not taking profits. It's greed. It's just pure greed, especially if you started playing it when the momentum really started, which was around the $1 area, where the people were started talking about it. And if you went to $5, it's about $5. It's about a 400% move. If you didn't take profits, that's just greed, and greed is met with theft in the markets. The market will always punish you if you're greedy. So momentum has slowly began to die off here. Thursday and Friday, volume was lower and began to drop. See, you had a rise and drop. If you hold the 9 EMA and you bounce on Monday, that'll be fantastic. You could have a nice little run to 400. It's a low float stock. It's only 100 million float, 101 million float. Lower float stock compared to others, so it moves fairly quicker, and it's got the momentum. It's CEI. It's this big thing that everyone's like, it's going to go to $2. Then everyone said, no, we're going to 3. Then we're going to 4. We're going to 5, 10, whatever. I don't care. Whatever you guys want to say, it's going to go to. But you just have to focus on one thing if you're trading this stock. One simple thing. The simplest thing in the world of stocks. Touching my screen, volume. Keep an eye on the volume. If the volume's there, the stock will continue going up. If the volume's not there, the stock will go down. Simply put, right? So just focus on volume. Do I think it's going to go to $4 or $5? I don't know. I need to see the volume on Monday. The stock is at a pivotal point right here. You held the 9 EMA on Friday, which is fantastic. It's a bullish sign that you held the 9 EMA, but will it have enough volume to be able to kind of push itself up? Look, this is almost $1 billion in volume. Take a look at this. It reads you the volume number here. It's almost $1 billion in volume. It's $750 million in volume. And then you come down to $500 million in volume. And then you come down to 320 million in volume, right? So the volume slowly begins to go down. We're talking about CEI right now, so not Wish. So I need to put that on the screen. So can it go to $5 if the volume comes in? Sure, why not? But will it? I don't know. I've taken profits like 5 different times in CEI. That's fantastic, Tony. I'm very happy for you. That's awesome. Battlefield 5 has got a bunch of CEI and BIG. Take profits on the pops. These are momentum plays. Momentum plays don't last forever. I can show you an example of a momentum play from a while back. What was a momentum play? AHT was a momentum play, right? Ashford Hospitality Group. Remember? This thing ran up. Again, this is reverse split. So it's not like the stock is like, oh my God, what the heck? It's a 10-for-1 reverse split, which means 10 shares became 1. So if the stock was $1, it becomes $10. And then for some reason, markets hate reverse splits. I don't know why, because you're really reducing the float. You're not really reducing the float. I don't know why markets hate reverse splits, but they do. And the stock got decimated. Essentially, you're down. We can literally measure how far we're down from the top. Again, my point isn't to kind of say anything bad, but I'm just saying is when momentum plays die off, like 85% down. When momentum plays die off, right, and you lose momentum, like you can see here, momentum peaked here, went down. You got a small little pops of volume here and there. But again, sellers were in massive control of this stock at this point. When momentum was there, it popped. Take a look at this. When momentum faded, it went down. Momentum came in, it popped, then faded. You need volume. That's the biggest thing. You need volume. Do you have any experience on pre-revenue SPACs? Yeah, I do have a lot of experience on pre-revenue SPACs, actually. They don't do very well. Unfortunately, they don't do very well. The markets will ignore fundamentals only to a certain point, and then fundamentals will come and catch up to you. You see that a lot. You see that with a lot of different companies. Fundamentals will eventually catch up to you, and that's what happened to the world of SPACs. SPACs would run to $40, $50, $60 a share de-SPAC, and then they would de-SPAC, and then they would come back down to earth, and then they would your valuation catches up to you at a certain point. Like, for example, GGPI has a higher valuation than Tesla right now. Makes no sense, but We can take a look at Re's chart if you'd like. I mean, I don't know anything about Re, but I can tell you if you're telling me they're a pre-revenue company, think of it like watch an episode of Shark Tank. Just watch one, not even a full episode, watch one snippet of Shark Tank. The questions that the sharks always ask is how much revenue you're making, how profitable are you, and what are your numbers? It's all about the numbers, right? And the markets will reflect upon that. Once I think refiled their S1, so I think that their SPAC financiers could sell. I don't know if that happened yet. I don't know I've heard of Re before, but I've never traded it. But if you take a look at here, like it's been decimated. It's down over 50% from its top. Would I touch it? No. If it's a pre-revenue company, I don't touch it. Like TMC, the metal company. I love the metal company's fundamental idea of what they want to do. It excites me. I love it. I was in the SPAC around $10. I got out around like 12, 13. I said, hey, I'm done with this. I'm good for now. Why? Because I knew one simple thing. They're not going to start mining or doing anything until 2024. And the price justifies that. This is frankly high for a company that's not going to be doing anything until 2024. It's all just going to need to raise money to do R&D. Same thing with QS. QS to me doesn't make any sense because they don't have anything. This should not be a $10 billion company on an idea of a possible battery. When this thing was running to 100 and pumpers were pushing this and they were loving it, you can search it. Go to Twitter, put $QS, and then you'll see all the pumpers that talk about it and pushed it back then. And unfollow them. And you'll see there's no fundamental product there. There's nothing there. So what was the point of it? QS was worthless and still is. Pre-revenue company. So to be very careful. Okay, so you guys, I answered a ton of your questions here. So I want to scroll up and catch a few questions from other people. And we'll discuss some other stock charts as well because I like doing this. So let's do, I missed this first one. I apologize. LTBR. I hope you're still here. No stone unturned. If you are, just give me a signal. If not, hopefully... Lightbridge. What do these guys do? Industrial commercials and professional services. Let's see what they do. Okay, let's bring it over here. Lightbridge, fuel, real fuel for real reactors. Okay, so they're a nuclear company. Nuclear has been a very hot sector, actually, if I'm understanding this correctly. Nuclear fuel technology company. Okay, cool. Nuclear has been a hot sector, but I don't know about how direct these guys are as a nuclear company. Clearly, this stock is on a massive downtrend, right? It bounced at 448. We can start drawing some support lines. Kind of zoom out a little bit. You had support here, but it broke. So I'll just draw it just to draw it. You had support here, but technically it's the same support, right? You wick down, but you still closed above it. So essentially, this is your support level is right here. Essentially at where you are right now is your kind of like your support level. I'm going to zoom in a little bit to kind of get this exact white lines. Around 465 is your kind of, 465 is your support level. It closed under it, so it technically lost the support. So I take back what I said. So your next support level that you're kind of really looking at is right here on the $4.15 area. If we're not going too far back, and again, you don't want to go too far back, in my opinion, when you're looking at support because it's legacy at that point, and you don't know where these investors went or how things operated because you're dealing with months ago now, 10 months ago. So I like to focus on the near site. So again, you wicked and bounced at 448. So that'd be the area. But personally, Lightbridge, I would not touch it. There's so many better alternative nuclear trading places out there. Good afternoon to you too, Polly. Let's talk about DraftKings, DKNG. DKNG DraftKings, one of my favorite gambling plays, but again, needs to get over this 9 EMA. 9 EMA resistance has been brutal for DraftKings. And as you can see, a lot of the stock charts that we've discussed tonight, 9 EMA is a brutal resistance. If and when they can get over the 9 EMA, parties keep going. Party starts, right? But for now, it's under it. And it's been riding the Bollinger Band down. We played puts on this. In the Patreon, I signaled puts on this. I was like, this is looking like a weak chart. I can even show you. Just so I can prove, because a lot of people, I get a lot of nasty comments sometimes for some people, and they're like, "This guy's a liar. He sucks. Don't listen to him." And people are nasty online. That's online people, but I'm here for the people that are nice and awesome. Is it on this watch list? No, not this one. Not on this one. Okay, so it must have been an older one. I'll find it and I'll show it to you guys. I don't want to waste too much time, but I'll find it and I'll show you. We played a $50 put on DraftKings somewhere around here. I'm going to pull it up on this. I don't know how to do it and then talk about the stock at the same time. But DraftKings, essentially in a nutshell, what we're looking at with DraftKings here is Okay, I don't need to sign in. I was checking my phone to see if I needed to kind of do a two-factor authentication to be able to pull up the post or not, and I saw that, hey, I don't have to, so that's good. So let me see if I can find the post. Yeah, who cares? You guys don't need to. Do I need to prove it? If you guys want to see proof, then just comment below and I'll find it and show it to you. But DraftKings essentially needs to break the 90 MA. It's curling up, doing its thing. It's having fun, and I think once it gets over that point, it will continue to do. It will continue to go into its bullish beast mode and kind of start kicking butt again. But right now, I'd accumulate shares down here if I was you personally, if I like DraftKings. But this is the time to buy shares, not options on it yet. But once it breaks the 90 MA and proves the 90 MA support and kind of plays around with it, options would be fun for DraftKings. I thought someone said no audio. I was like, oh, the whole time there's been no audio. What have you guys been doing? TMC, we did. I think we did. Yeah, the metal company. We did the metal company. Dan, thank you so much for the like. I'm looking into MicroStrategy, MSTR, I think. MSTR. MicroStrategy is essentially a Bitcoin ETF right now. If Bitcoin's up, MicroStrategy is up. If Bitcoin's down, MicroStrategy is down. That's kind of how you have to play it. That's literally the only way MicroStrategy moves. I don't think anyone even knows what MicroStrategy does or ever will do. No one really cares. They just buy Bitcoin. Could. Robinhood. Robinhood's in bad shape. Robinhood's going to continue to be in bad shape. I think Robinhood will come down to test 39 again. It'll be good for puts, in my opinion. But watch it, see how it trades tomorrow. But again, Robinhood's in a bad shape right now because it's press-wise, and puts should do well. Just quickly eyeballing some open interests. Okay, if you want to go out the money. Yeah, these look good. I don't know. I'll have to see tomorrow. See pre-market tomorrow. Yeah, we did the metal company already. TGT, let's do it. TGT. Ooh. Target. Ooh, what happened to Target? Target stumbled. It's not telling me why. Looks like Target's having a hard time. Very hard time. Let me pull up Benzinga. Oh, that's right. Let me see if I can get Target on Benzinga. See why. Target glitch lets people place orders for $15, including 5. Wow. Okay, this might be why. But again, that was on Friday. It wasn't a big deal. You can always cancel them and you can nullify the cards that were sent out. That's not a big deal. Okay. I'm not seeing anything. If you guys know what happened to Target, let me know in the comments below. Oh, Target dropped on earnings, I believe. Yeah, but earnings were forever ago. They're still dropping on earnings. Like, I guess that's why. But I wouldn't touch Target right now. I'll just say that to you right now, Surfs. I wouldn't touch Target right now. It's not a good looking chart. I mean, you could try to play puts now. You can keep trying to play puts and see how much lower it goes. But you're into oversold territory, so algos will and probably might come and pick it up and bounce it to the 9 EMA, and then it'll ride back down again. But again, this is one that I'd steer clear of for now. All right, let me see what else do we have here. We did Nike, Plug, PLUG, Plug Power, another company that I'm not a huge fan of. Looks like you have a. Nah, it's not a definition. Head and Shoulders can't be. Yeah, not a Head and Shoulders. Delete this line. I don't know what it is or why I put it there. All right. It's got very strong resistance here in this 20 MA. As you can see with this doji that was formed here. So I think it goes down. I think Plug looks like it wants to come back down or retest, maybe double bottom. Because it double bottomed here. If you look at it, double bottom and then went up and did quite well from the double bottom 23 to 27. I think it went to 28. Okay, and now it looks like it wants to cool off a bit, but if volume comes in, I don't see why it couldn't pick up and just keep rocketing and going back up. Not rocketing up like massive move, but just like retesting again the resistance here. But right now, I think that it just goes back down until it can get over this resistance point, which there was not enough volume on either of these 2 days to get it to where it needs to go. Magna, I think you mean MGA. MG is Meritas Group, but MGA is Magna. Magna is a company I like a lot. Full disclosure, I'm invested in Magna. Bullish candle, bullish green hammer candle on Friday. Look, Magna is an interesting play because they're a pick and shovel play. They're a car manufacturer. They do a lot of different stuff. Let me take you to their website so you can kind of take a look at them. Magna is the one that has to deal with Fisker and people saying Magna is going to make the Apple car and all this other stuff. That's why I bought more Apple stock and Magna stock when I heard about the Apple car, because no one knew what the Apple car was, but we knew that Magna would be the one who's making it if it ever gets made or if it's ever a thing. So that being said, Magna to me, in terms of options, was great on Friday. We had Magna calls on Friday, I believe it was. And they did very well because of the 2% upward move. Excuse me. But again, Magna has been fighting this 20 MA resistance, and until Magna can get over this 20 MA resistance, it's essentially been riding down the Bollinger Band. But it's something that I accumulate shares of when it comes down to the low 70s. I buy a few shares, and I'll just hold on to those. Sorry about that. All right. Cool. Oh, thank you. Happy Patreon member. Awesome courses on chart reading. Looking forward to options courses you will add. Thank you so much, World Travel Magazine. Yeah, if you guys would like to sign up for the Patreon, it is here, linked here, second tile at ryanstocks.com, and you can get access to all the cool stuff we have there. Limited slots for the month. If you'd like to join. We got a lot of stuff in there. We learn, we trade. We're a fantastic team, and we do what we got to do. And you'll actually learn how to trade. You don't have to depend on people on Twitter to tell you what to do and when to buy and sell. And you become a self-sufficient trader, and you'll actually learn how to trade. It won't be just alerts and spoon feeding. You actually learn how to trade. So very different from most other patrons that I've seen out there. Okay, so we got some comments coming in now. Here we go. Alexander says, what do you think about Walmart? You go to WM. Parallel to Target. Look. They're parallel to Target. It's weird because people are at all-time high buying things. People are just buying. Where's my phone? I don't know where I left my phone. I'm just going to check something. But this doesn't have my SIM card in it. Yeah, I don't know where I left my phone. Oh, okay. That's not important. But same thing with Target. And you need to find support because right now it's riding down the Bollinger Band. And it's gone into oversold. So can it bounce back? Sure. This is where I'd buy shares if you like Walmart long term. This is when I would start to kind of steal some Walmart shares for cheap. If you look here, you're essentially coming back down to where it was in June. And holiday season's coming up, so I don't see why it wouldn't. Opening, we break the 90-day next week. Let's hope so. Amazon was primed. Amazon, did it fill the gap? It almost filled the gap. It was primed to fill the gap. Then market conditions went to crap. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go and retest and take the gap going into the next few weeks. There's nothing wrong with there. You've seen we did TMC already. Avoid it long term. Long story short. BGSV. All right, let me do BGSV. Then I got to go to some from the Twitter. BGSV. ENG Foods. No, this is incorrect. BGSV. It's not coming up, whatever this stock is, bro. All right. My pleasure, Surf. Let's go to the Twitter. Let's grab some stocks from here. We did MicroStrategy already. We did Mara already. Upstart. Let's see. Upstart. Partial momentum stock at this point. Is it too late to get in? Wait for it to cool off. This thing's just been on a tear for no real good reason. It held the 20 MA but broke the 90 MA. This needs to cool off and come down, I think, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes and tests the 260 support very soon. It needs to kind of take a breather. It came down to this support level here of 285, and then the next support level is here in the 260s. So I think it comes down to the 260s and then bounces back up. That's where I would really look to see where it goes. Should go back to the hood chart. That is perfect for an iron condor setup. It's sideways for weeks. I'm good, bro. I don't play iron condors. I don't really care for all that. All right, you seen if you keep spamming TMC, I'm just gonna block you. There's a limit on, like, we answered the question 3 times. It's enough, man. No one cares about these stupid pump and dump craps that people like to kind of push. Like, buy this stock, it's going to the moon. Like, no one cares. Baba Leap options are cheap. I wouldn't touch Baba right now, dude. China is in massive disarray with Evergrande, and Baba just keeps making lower lows. Not a good play, in my opinion. AMD. Shares, not options. Shares, in my opinion. Look, AMD's held around the $99 area, around the $100 area is where it is. I just buy shares of it, and then I would just kind of play it off of that. Play shares long term. That's what I've been doing. I've been adding AMD. I've been adding TSMC, which is TSM. The metal, Taiwan's TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. I've just been really adding shares to that, and I like the company a lot because these are the guys that make these guys are the ones that make the chips for AMD, Nvidia, ARM, Apple. So it's what I like, and it filled this gap. So I started adding shares long term. I liked it. How long do you think Wish will take before it starts curling? Months, years, if I don't see any hope, Shane, to be 100% transparent with you on Wish. There's no reason for it to go up, right? You need a reason for a stock to go up. There has to be a reason for people to want to come and say, hey, Wish.com, I'm going to put my money into it and it's going to go up. Maybe if Wish comes out and says, hey, we're going to do ABCD and redo manufacturing, we're going to stop sending crappy products, or we're going to make sure that things actually arrive on time, or we're going to build an insurance policy. But in my opinion, I don't see any reason for Wish to ever curl up. It's already, I think, overvalued at a $3.14 billion company. Take a look at their financials just for 1 second, right? Let's take a look at their income statement. They're about, let's just do the math. 314 divided by 656. They're about 4x. They're operating about 4x with their revenue, right? 4 point something x their revenue, right? Again, high valuations are a common thing in this market. I completely agree with you there, but I think this is a fair valuation for it. I think they're operating at a fair valuation right now. They've come back down to earth. They're cooling off. Their total revenue for FY 2020 it was $2.54 billion. There's nothing really to write home about. There's nothing exciting there. It was a pump and dump play. People got stuck in it, unfortunately. I feel bad for the folks, but hey, that's just how the market. That's how the market operates sometimes. Unfortunately, it's a very, very brutal thing. So Walmart needs a substantial serving like Costco, in my opinion. Yeah, Walmart needs its thing. Walmart needs Walmart has very parallels to Costco, but Walmart isn't everywhere. That's the problem that Walmart has. Larry, you're supposed to be on vacation. What are you doing here on YouTube? Go back to vacationing. But appreciate you coming and watching, Larry. What are your thoughts on how to play plug? I thought we went over plug already. We just did plug. Rewind a little bit. We did plug. I think it's going to come back down. Plug. Take a look at the MACD. It's curling down. So I think plug comes down. We did a fuller analysis. You could just rewind. Someone says it's a foundry. I don't know what that means. Lemonade. I don't know how to read your name, but I like Lemonade stock a lot. I like Lemonade stock when it gets cheap. That's when I buy it. Is when Lemonade gets cheap. pretty cheap now. Look, this was on a Motley Fool pump, but Lemonade here around the 60s, I think it's a good buy, my personal opinion. Again, not a financial advisor. You guys should know that by now. Lemonade's an interesting play. It's one of those that it's tech based. So it's got a rich valuation, right? So again, look just for a comparison. Lemonade's a $3.5 billion company, and Wish is a $3.14 billion company or whatever. Which one makes more sense to you? Take it from there. And they're doing pet insurance now. They're doing car insurance is the next big catalyst for them. I think they'll eventually pick up. But again, tech plays like Lemonade get hit harder because they have richer valuations when markets turn red. So you're going to get them for cheaper. So you'll be able to come back and buy it for cheaper. Hence why I never add the thing up here or up here or up here. The highest I think I've ever paid for Lemonade was, I think from memes, I added a few shares at 69. I don't know why, but that's the only reason. You guys don't have to do the super chat. I appreciate it, but it goes to Benzinga, but you guys don't have to do that. I'm more than happy doing your stocks. It just takes me some time to do it. Psy. I don't know this company. It looks like they IPO'd recently. What is this? This is an ETF. If it's an ETF, we have to look at the holdings of the ETF. Give me 1 second to pull it up. Psy ETF. Oh, psychedelics. Okay, it's a psychedelic ETF. Let's see what's inside of it. Okay. All right, you got cannabis in here. You got Aurora Cannabis. I know Kronos is in here. No, I wouldn't touch this. These psychedelics are... Look, cannabis, for the lifetime that cannabis has been around, it's still not a well-functioning product that's mass accepted. Take a look at MSauce, which is the cannabis ETF. Take a look at how that's been operating. This is cannabis too, which is a lot more accepted now, and it's kind of doing its thing and making its move. Yes, TSM is a founder. Yes, but I wouldn't invest in psychedelics right now because the world isn't really ready for them at a public scale. I know that MMND, everyone was like, Kevin O'Leary's invested. Yeah, Kevin O'Leary invests on pennies on the dollar on MindMed, which is MIND now, I think. MMET, isn't that MindMed? Mind Medicine. NMD, okay. Take a look at this. Oh, look, the gap finally filled. Would you look at that? I was right. On hype, just pure hype. Just on pure hype. Like, there's no reason for this to have ever been a $6 stock. Psychedelics are way too early. Way too early right now. What do you think about the Fubo chart? Oh, hold on. It is CI. That's about like $1 trillion business. Is it CI that's about $1 trillion business? We could take a look. I don't know what their market cap is. No, CI is only a $300 million business. $1 trillion business. Where'd you get that from? They're not even making that much money. I guess maybe I may have gotten mixed up with someone else. MSauce is better because there's a... Yeah, I agree. MSauce is much better. But again, it's OTC. It's kind of like a backdoor into those OTC companies if you don't want to buy OTCs. What do you think about Fubo? I think Fubo's ready. I was looking at the chart earlier today. Green hammer candle needs to break the 90 MA, just like almost all the other stocks we talked about today. It needs to break the 90 MA, and once it does, it will pop up and make its move upwards. But again, we'll have to see how it plays out. Last time I had a green candle, we descended, so I have to watch for a break and then take it from there. Tesla will break out Tuesday. I see a flag. Do you agree? Let's see. I think Tesla does well tomorrow. Tesla did fantastic car numbers. While all the big car companies missed, Tesla exceeded estimates. with the chip shortage situation that's going on. So I think Tesla does well. I don't see why we wouldn't go and retest 800 tomorrow. Just my personal 2 cents on Tesla. Solex is a cool ETF if you want to trade, bounces back really fast when market normalizes. Solex. Oxol. That's the semiconductor. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a fun one. This is one if you want to have it like and hold it. The 3x ETFs and stuff like that, I don't recommend it. Like these are more fun to trade than to buy and hodl because the way that they go up 3x, they also come down 3x. So yeah. Larry, what are you doing? Don't embarrass me, Larry. Thoughts on TA for Harrison Aviation Systems? I don't know what that is. Hi. Oh, we will still have to change the way it looks. We're going to the OTC or something. Okay, geez, Olu. What exchange is this on? This is on the TSE. Looks like you're curling and trying to fight back up. This is nothing set up for me here right now, so I need to. I think this is the 50. We got a ways to go to the 50 MA. Yeah, it looks like it wants to fight the 90 MA. Once it breaks the 90 MA, I don't see why it wouldn't make a move up, but I don't know anything about this company. Canadian-based infrastructure solutions. Yeah, if it's Canadian-based, the infrastructure bill isn't going to help you. That's really going to American companies. I think SPY will do decent tomorrow. Long story short, Safe Banking Act hasn't passed yet in the American cannabis companies have cash. Yeah, I agree. Once that passes, that'll be green light in my opinion. Thoughts on NEO? China. I wouldn't touch NEO right now with the crap going on in China. I think NEO is in an interesting spot. Either it sets up and people buy shares down here and they do very well in the coming years, or China decimates NEO like it's done Baba and other companies. So we'll have to see. Take a look at PED, whatever that is. And come on, get out of here, Larry. You can't play a stock that's ran up 42% already. You can't touch that. It's gonzo. It's garbanzo beans. It's gonzo. It's a low float, micro float stock that probably got pumped and ran 40-something%. It's gone. It can continue to go up and retest, sure, but if you look at the after hours activity, the momentum is really gone and people are getting out and the volume's high on these cells. These aren't small cells. I wouldn't touch it. Thoughts on Zim? Well, I haven't heard about this stock in a long time. Zim. Shipping. Zim could be doing well. It's an Israeli shipper, right? Yes, it is. I haven't seen Zim in a long time. Why are they doing so bad? All the other shippers are doing great. Is it time to go long on them? No, there's no support built here. You have 50 MA support, but this could easily break tomorrow. If that breaks tomorrow, you're in bad shape. So I wouldn't touch them just now. IBM, time to go long. IBM, it's always time to go long on IBM. I'm just kidding. Let's take a look. Okay. Let me ask you a question, Iron Fist. Love your profile picture. Stock had a massive move upwards, 143. Right? Big move. Time to go long on IBM would have been down here. Once you start, or this candle right here. 90 made support or this candle right here would have been great to go. Or even this candle, right? Or even this candle. This candle would have been perfect, actually. This would be the perfect candle. Support's been established. You've recovered. You get support on the 20 MA, 90 MA. This is where you go long here. Personally, I'd wait for it to cool off. You broke above the Bollinger Band, which means it'll naturally cool off in a day or two. And that's just how it kind of operates. Once you break the top Bollinger Band, take a look here, you will result in a red candle and then a cool off. So I think IBM cools off. IBM I like in the mid-30s, 130s, and then I'd go there. But yeah, My pleasure, Shane. I'd stay away from Chinese stocks. I bought NEO for a long-term hold and sold because I'm not taking any changes. I agree, Lee. Great thoughts. Have you spoken about PED? Yeah, we just spoke about PED. Don't buy it. It's up 40%. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, Larry. Let's do rig. All right, let's do rig. Larry, if it's up 40%, I'm throwing my computer out the window. All right, let's take a look at rig. Better setup here. 9 EMS support. It's doing its thing, making its moves. Rig is oil, right? Rig, if it's oil, you need to keep your eye on oil prices. Realistically, ZOM would be your best bet. So as you saw, looked at ZOM earlier. XOM. I don't know why I keep getting to Z. XOM. If XOM is doing well, rig will do well. And take it from there. But yeah, that's how I play it. Buddy, cow pie, stop spamming, please. If I did one of your stocks, I'll come back to it. Just please stop spamming. I don't like that. CCJ is a great nuclear play. It's curling. I don't see why this wouldn't go for the 25s with nuclear energy on the rise and all that in the markets. I think CCJ does well. Let me do a few stocks from the Twitter post. By the way, if you want to learn how to do technical analysis like this and you want to actually become a real trader, not have to depend on Twitter pump and dumps and all that other crap anymore, you want to be a part of a supportive team that actually helps you trade and learn how to do exactly what I'm doing via courses that I've built, go to the Patreon. Go to ryanstocks.com, sign up here, invest in yourself. A lot of people don't like to invest in themselves. It's time for you to invest in yourself. Like, people will spend money on any other crap except themselves to help better themselves and become better traders. Go to the Patreon, sign up, learn how to become an actual trader, and then be a part of our team, and you'll be making very good money. And look, we do very good. We print tendies. I'll show you. We did while everyone was bleeding. Here are the essentially last 2 days of September watch list, and they all went. They all hit. I'm scrolling down quickly. Here's some puts that did very well on HUT. One of our members did. Here's one of our members. If you look at the date here, 9/17, as it says on the top, did very well. Very well. 80% return, 800% return, 140% returns. Here, this is just 2 days. This is the 28th and this is the 29th, right? So take a look at that. All green, went 7 for 7. All green. And you see the null? That says plays come with conditions. If the conditions met, you play. I tell you what the condition is, you play. You don't have to wait for an alert. You don't have to wait for anything. Look, Microsoft puts ran 200%. Apple puts ran 100%. SoFi puts ran 36%. VMW calls in the middle of hell red, 50%. So sign up for the Patreon, learn how to trade, become a real trader. You don't have to depend on people anymore. You don't have to play garbage stocks anymore. Fisker, let's take a look at it. Fisker, my prediction is they will never do anything. They will never deliver a single car. They'll never do anything. That's just my personal opinion. Just compare it to other stocks and other car companies that are out there that are trying. This seems like the longest con in history is Fisker. That's just my personal opinion. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe that they're going to do it. This isn't meant to be slander or anything like that. That's just my personal opinion. As a human being in America, you're allowed your First Amendment rights. And just my personal opinion is I don't think Fisker is ever going to deliver a damn car or even make money. If they deliver the car, they won't be able to make money. Sorry. That's just my personal opinion. I wouldn't go long on this. This is not a car company. You want to go long on a car company? You got Ford. You also have GM. You also have Tesla. You have CCIV, which is Lucid. You got all these car companies that are proving that they can deliver cars, proving that they can do what they need to do, and these are the kind of car companies you want to go to. I know it's an exciting opportunity to go with Fisker. Like, hey, it's a new company that might be this big thing, but take a look at Lucid's market cap, about $40 billion. It's Fisker's. I think they're 8 or 9, $4 billion market cap. I'm not crazy about Fisker, and I know that people are like, maybe they're doing the Apple car, maybe that's a rumor. I don't know. I don't see Apple going out and outsourcing to a company that hasn't been proven. If you take a look at Apple's track record, for example, Beats was a proven headphone company for years, and then Apple came through and worked with them. So just play it by ear. Trading together forever, Larry. Spot on. I agree. Excuse me. I don't know what that was. I apologize. Let's see. NEWU. NEWU. Taking me to that. Oh, you did this again. You took me here. Look, I don't know anything about these stocks or these companies or how to trade them. I don't do OTC. It's too volatile. And this is a newer one. Just looking at here, you got an ugly candle. It looks like it wants to just descend and die, but it held the 90 MA, but it closed a hair under it. I don't know how to trade these OTCs. I don't trade OTCs. They're too volatile for me. I don't even think this is OTC. This is a micro float. I wouldn't touch it. PaySafe hit a 52-week low. Will it continue to drop? Let's take a look. PaySafe. I told people, I said, Foley, the gentleman in charge of this SPAC, it was like $1 billion in debt payoff. I was like, the only reason these guys are SPACing is because they want to pay off their debt, and the debt was taken care of with the SPAC. You guys paid for it, the shareholders. Can it keep going lower? Yes, I think it can. I think PaySafe can definitely keep going lower. You have to remember, the lowest the stock can go to is 0, and you're not there yet. So it can definitely go there. And there's no, you're not even oversold yet. So if you see here, like you oversold and then it bounced, you're not even to oversold territory yet. So I could see this coming down to the 6s or even 5s, high 5s. So be very careful, Yoshi. Love your profile picture. I don't know what it is, but it looks really cool. If you could let me know in the comments, I'd appreciate that. SPET. Momentum play. SPET's an interesting one. SPET's doing very well, even on lower volume. Take a look at this. Got a bit of a double bottom action here. 1, 2, but didn't resolve. 90 MA resistance on SPET needs to be broken. It needs volume, needs momentum to keep going. This was thrown in there during the kind of the momentum play and run there, but never really amounted to much. It had this nice little pop here to, I think it was like 7. Did very well there. Had its little pop there, did very well, but then really never amounted to much, unfortunately. I'm thinking Lucid is going to 30s in November. I'd like that. If they can deliver the cars and what they're promising on, sure. I don't see why not. Deku artist talking. Yoshi, could you tweet me a link to whatever that is? I'd appreciate that. You can find my Twitter here. If you go to Ryan Stocks, the 4th tile is my Twitter. If you could just tweet me whatever that is, that looks really cool. Let's take a look at Lucid while you brought it up. Again, Lucid is in limbo. I'm an investor in Lucid. I'm finally bought shares into Lucid, right? I traded Lucid many, many times. I made fantastic money on Lucid puts, made fantastic money on Lucid calls. Thank God, knock on wood. It's going to take time for Lucid to establish itself in a price range where it can be steady, right? You have to look back and remember the early days of Tesla, the very, very early days of Tesla. And when Tesla was, we're getting dislikes. I guess people didn't like my take on Fisker, and that's okay. I don't care. When Tesla was in its early days, we can actually go take a look at it. Tesla needed to prove itself. We'll have to go to like a monthly chart. So we can kind of go back. Take a look here. Look here, Tesla back in its early days. It took time for them to prove themselves as a company that deserves to be at a valuation, whatever their valuation was then, right? Kind of went up and down, and it came back down, and then went back up, and then it started to make its way back up. Look here, Tesla, 2019 was a $30 stock. Now I don't know what their market cap was in 2019, but again, it takes time to be able to establish yourself as this company, and then had a massive, massive launch up when Tesla began to prove itself and kind of build it out. And I think that it's going to get much more interesting for them in the future. But Lucid is in the same thing. Lucid is very early. Lucid is going to have a turbulent ride. It's going to be a turbulent ride until they can prove themselves as a company to the world, and then it'll be a nice smooth ride up, in my opinion. Like Tesla, I'm never worried about Tesla stock that I have. Like, it's going to be fine. Appreciate you, World Travel Magazine. We got to wind this down. I'm getting tired. Lucid puts on Tesla news. Lucid puts if it breaks the 90 MA. If it doesn't break the 90 MA, no. If it breaks the 90 MA, yes, puts. Tesla should do well, but I think they're still in two different worlds. I don't think you can compare Lucid and Tesla because Lucid is a luxury car. It's like comparing a Rolls-Royce to a Toyota, two very different cars, for two different, very different socio-demographic targets. Out of all the stocks you reviewed tonight, which one do you say are most bullish for this week? That's a good question. None of them. Really not. We didn't go over anything that I was really bullish on. I'd say maybe Starbucks, which we did a little earlier, which I'm forgetting about the chart. Let me just bring it up one more time. Spac. But again, I'm not trying to pump it. It's a billion float. Don't start with that. If we could break the 90 MA on Starbucks, it could do very well, and I can see it making its way up to fill this gap. But again, that's just my personal take on this one. Starbucks is the one chart that I was most bullish on that we saw so far. Again, if I forgot something that I said was very good, you can check it. What's my cancellation policy? You get charged monthly, and you can cancel whenever you want. It's not a contract. NVIDIA is short for next week. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. I don't short stocks. I play calls and puts. I don't like shorting. Not because I'm a social justice warrior for the stock market. I just don't like the mechanics of shorting. It's in limbo. It can go either way. You can either pop up and do very well and retest the 50 MA and break it if volume comes in, or you can begin your descent down to the $200 area one more time, which is your next support. It's got good support at 200, but there's not much support here on 202. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come down to the 200, 202 area. How come when I say I'm tired, everyone starts dropping stocks in the chat? Where were you guys earlier? By the way, I hope you guys are hitting the like button if I'm answering your questions. I hope you're following me on Twitter if you're answering these questions. If not, what's all this for? Any. I said I'd do any before. I said this about SPRT when they merged with GRI or whatever it is now. I said do not hold through merger. Or I don't think it's G. Oh, hold on. SPRT support.com. It'll tell me the ticker here. Green Ridge. Green Ridge. It gets sent to the OTC already? What happened? I don't know what the ticker is for Green Ridge. Fold. It's not telling me what the ticker is for Green Ridge. If you guys know the ticker for Green Ridge, just do me a solid and drop it in the chat. I'm going to show you something. Green Edge. Green Edge. That's what. There it is. GRE. This doesn't look accurate. I remember a different chart. But take a look at this. Down massively, and that was after a reverse split, the kind of the whole merger thing. I wouldn't hold any through the merger, just my 2 cents. Thank you, Macros. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Moto. Any's a momentum play. It doesn't care about Bitcoin. It doesn't care. I know it's a Bitcoin mining play eventually going to be one, but right now it doesn't care. It's momentum. And now there's no momentum. There's no volume. It's not moving. When the pumpers come back in and momentum comes back in, it'll pump back up. That's my take on any. Okay. All right. A good price to get into NVIDIA. If you can get it at 200 and under, I think it's a good price around that area. But again, you could always get it for cheaper. Thoughts on Baba? I would not touch it. I would not touch it. I would not touch it. I'm avoiding all Chinese stocks for the time being. What's going on with Evergrande or Evergrande is much more of a bigger problem than people perceive it as in China. So that's why I wouldn't touch those stocks. Mew, please, sure thing. Micron Technology, another chip company. Very high float, but it moves like a low float for some reason. I don't know how. But sometimes it moves like a low. Sometimes it moves like a low float. I think it goes to retest the 90 MA, which isn't too far off. It's like $1. If volume comes in. If volume doesn't come in, it continues to ride the Bollinger Band down. That's my 2 cents. My pleasure, Michael. Ross, what's up, buddy? Ross, let's do it. Let's do comp. Compass. Real estate technology company. Compass is an interesting chart. Here's an example of an inverse head and shoulders that just played out and did very well. Then you have a rounding bottom that didn't do so well. But Compass looks like, again, it's fighting this 90 MA resistance, right, Ross? And when it hits it, it can break above it, but then the 50 holds you back and kind of pushes you back down. So this is kind of the dilemma here, is you're kind of riding this Bollinger Band down. So I'd avoid Compass right now. It's not worth it, in my opinion. The whole real estate market, if I'm understanding Compass correctly, let me double check. Real estate technology company, just like Redfin's having a hard time as well. Well, not on Friday, but if you scroll out, take a look at Redfin. Redfin's been having a hard time as well. Real estate is just not there right now. What's Rocket, the one that everyone loved? Everyone thought Rocket was going to be the next $100 stock. I was like, we got to buy Rocket. It's going to the moon. And now we're at lows. It's the 52-week low. Look, Friday we made a 52-week low. Yeah, real estate companies are just not there right now, Ross. I would avoid them. SNMP. We did Amazon and Walmart earlier. Sako, we did those already. You could just rewind a little bit. You'll see them. I think Amazon goes for the gap. I think I'm bullish on Amazon. Walmart, I'm bearish on right now because it needs to establish support. SNMP. Oil. Good old oil. Look, it held both the 90 EMA and the 20 EMA support, but 50 EMA is resistance. If it break the 50 EMA resistance, it can make a move. If it can't, unfortunately, it will return back to the dollar area and kind of maybe a retest upwards. But again, needs volume. Everything else. Friday volume came in, did very well. If volume keeps on coming in, it'll continue to do very well. My pleasure, Ross. My pleasure, Sako. I appreciate you guys. Hey, D, what's going on? My pleasure, Ross. I'm bullish on Google. I'm bullish on Google as well. Which one? Which Google? Google A or Google C? I mean, how can you not be bullish on Google? Take a look at that. We're here. You're watching YouTube. YouTube's Google. So long-term bullish on Google, but that's an expensive stock. And almost a $2 trillion company, it's expensive stock. Most folks aren't going to be able to afford to buy that. But yeah. I had like 2 or 3 shares of SPRT, but they vanished from my profile. Wow. Oof. Contact your broker, or I don't know if it's even worth the headache of dealing with that. Thank you, Iron Fist. If you guys would like to follow me on Twitter, go to Ryan Stocks. And the towel's right here. You can hit this one. You can follow me on Twitter. Or you can join the Patreon and learn how to trade. Learn how to do this actual technical analysis. Learn how to become a self-sufficient trader. Depending on Twitter for stock picks is terrible. Depending on Twitter for analysis and help is decent, but it's not great. Nothing in life is free. I can promise you that. You're paying the price in one way or another. We've seen it with a lot of pump and dump stocks. Come and learn how to become a great trader, and then leave and go do trading on your own. Just come, learn, and then leave. We're not an alert-based system. The whole point of this is for you to come, learn, and become a self-sufficient trader. If you'd like to sign up, I think there's only a few slots left for the month of October. There's only 6 slots left. If you wanted to come and join, go ahead. Invest in yourself. It's not expensive at all, and you can actually become a great trader. Take it from there. All right, I'm going to do like 2 more, and then I'm going to bounce. Let me take one from the Twitter. I'm looking at my tweets. Apple, Larry, Apple. Let's do Apple. Bullish candle on Friday. Needs to break the 90 EMA, just like everything else. Almost every single stock is now sitting under the 90 EMA that we discussed tonight. It needs to break the 90 EMA. TSM we did. Let's look at Moderna, mRNA. Whew, look at that gap down. Yuck. held support. Like it needs to cool off. Massive run for no real reason. It's going to cool off. I think it'll come down to the 300s. If it doesn't hold the 323 support, it can come down to the 200s. Let's look at Pfizer too over here. Pfizer came home. Banked. Ugly. Not good. That's what it is. Look, the hype is there, and then the hype leaves. This was all on the third booster shot, the FDA approval. Third booster got shut down, so it just got popped off. Dennis, what's going on, brother? Palantir is going down this week. Palantir filed for a shelf offering. I'll show you guys in 1 second. Let me pull it up. I keep hitting the snipping tool. Let's go to Palantir. Right. Palantir SEC filings. This is an automatic registration of an... Oh, what the heck? Why isn't it working? This website's been bugging out for the past few weeks. I just see Edgar, and sometimes I come to this one and use this one, but I don't know why recently this one's been really buggy. Let's do it. Let's do it. There we go. Self. It says an automatic shelf offering, which means it goes into effect automatically. They haven't given us the numbers on it, which is really weird. You never really see a S3 ASR without numbers. So I'm assuming Monday or sometime around midnight tonight we'll get those numbers put in there. It'll get updated. It'll be like an updated version of the S3 ASR. And I think Palantir comes down. Look, the float's already high. I don't know why they're raising money for. Like it's such a bummer. As a shareholder, it's a bummer, but as someone who's holding puts, it's fantastic. So I think that this thing comes down. I think it comes down to the 22s. All right. ARCB. This will be one we close on. Wait, you said this has been beat up? This thing was up for almost 5% on Friday. I think you might have put the wrong stock in there, Travis. All right. I'm going to close it off on a stock for me. SoFi. SoFi's fighting back. It needs to fight that 9 EMA. If it breaks that 9 EMA, we're going up. I think the bank charter is coming through. I think that's why they did that massive offerings for that bank charter. They need to be cash rich. How much cash are they holding right now? No cash. Okay, this is 1,000% wrong. But I don't see why. If it breaks that, easy move to 18, in my opinion. Easy move to the 18s again. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching this stream. I appreciate you. We've been on for about an hour and a half. If you do me a favor, hit that like button. There's so many of you in here that ask questions that don't hit the like button, that like to leech. Congratulations, you leached. I'm just joking. Don't get mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Rozbiani. Link is here. Go to ryanstocks.com. Everything is here. If you want to trade, learn to be a great trader. Profitable weekly watch lists, daily watch lists at this point, with a fantastic supportive team that teaches you how to trade, that answers your questions. That's very small. You could join here. There's a few slots left for October. If you'd like to join, you're more than welcome. Join the party. The Patreon link is right here. Twitter link is right here. If you'd like to sign up subscribe to my YouTube channel, I've got a few cool videos coming up, and I've got an interview, which I haven't said much. I haven't said anything. I have an interview coming up with one of your favorite stocks in the next coming few days. So thank you so much for watching. As always, appreciate you. Have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Bye-bye. Thank you for hitting the like, whoever did. Sasha, thank you.